Hey, the following can contain some intense language and is intended for a mature audience, so viewer discretion is advised.
Yeah, I'm blacksmith. Black cloak, black skin. Walk the hall, they whispering. Cauldron bubble, I'm different. Dark eyes don't flinch, just glimmering. House points, man, miss me. Came from pain, they history. Same blood, they fear, they diss me. But they copy my brew, still sip me. Side eye from the portraits. Cold stone, but my soul scorched. They ain't teach where I'm from. Had to learn from the alleys and the torch. Half prince in the world that hate. Half rage in the narrow gate. Half hood in the castle gate. Homie, never run from
black snake. Walking through the dark. One day my hand and a X in my heart. Turn that fear to a spell, then I spark. Yeah. I've been cursed from the start. Black snake.
They talk war in the streets. I see more than they see in the tower. Drive by, man, I glide by stealth. Broomstick, bring stone, cold shower. I ain't glorified shots, that's great. That's moms in black, that's waves. Of boys that ain't make old age. So I ain't my rage at the cage.
Walking through the dark. One day my hand and a X in my heart. Turn that fear to a spell, then I spark. Yeah. I've been cursed from the start.
Ronald Weasley. It's Leviosa. Leviosa. Stop.
Actors, ho! Helen Hunt.
Samuel Jackson.
Matt Damon.
Hey, boys! Look what I got here!
Hey, where are the white women at?
My people cried in theaters finding relief. My people cry so they can see us as human beings. They recognize propaganda they spew.
I am black.
And try to weaponize everything that we do.
Difficult, not impossible.
Batman owns the night. Now taste fear. You wait, what? Oh, God! Oh, my back just snapped like a pack of uncooked spaghetti! Oh, you just walk up and break my back without saying a word! Oh, boo! Boo on you, sir!
Do that space.
My childhood became alive the day that Luke Skywalker died from being tired. How the fuck did Jedi die from being tired? My childhood became alive the day that Han Solo just died and I didn't cry.
This is the last Grossman. Who is this?
This is Flaming Dragon!
Oh, okay. Flaming Dragon. Fuckface. First, take a big step back and literally fuck your own face!
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
Grab a chalk, plug in the game, it's the Chalkzone, baby, no 2 rounds the same. We got pixels, polygons, mayhem galore. TJ's on the sticks and he's kicking down doors. Oh, the Chalkzone. Oh, the Chalkzone.
You guys give up, or you're thirsty for more?
Hey. Yeah. Yeah. Hey. Giving it all. Hey. Yeah. I'm giving it all I could give. Run up and taking my pick. Then bringing it back to the crib. Hey. Yeah. You know how I go. We finding the gold, the deeper we dig. So we just keep digging till we finally get it. Like fuck it, I'll sleep when I'm dead. Yeah. I gave you my word, don't break it for knowing. You know I'ma keep what I said. Ready for war, I've been deep in the trance. Been jumping since I had them squeaks in the bed. Ice in my body, I'm cold under pressure. Recovered like I had no heat in the vents. Shooting, I don't have a conscience, too much to accomplish. You know I can't leave it to chance. Yeah, throw it in the bag. Throw some dots, I'm Jackson Dart. I'm out of pocket playing tag. Catch me if you can, empty out the mag. Took the lead, I run the track. And I'm never looking back. Going for the moment, always rolling with the punches. Find a way to see through dust settles, let's see who remains. Show up for the moment, always rolling with the punches. Find a way to see through the ceiling, put above us. Smoke is in the air, keep it heavy in abundance. When the dust settles, will you be the same? 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 When the dust settles, let's see who remains. I'm giving it all I could give. Run up and taking my pick, then bringing it back to the crib. Yeah. You know how I go, we finding the gold, the deeper we dig. So we just keep digging till we finally get it, like fuck it, I'll sleep when I'm dead. I keep those around me I trust, only the family, not much to discuss. Ashes to ashes, we brush off the dust. Fuck what they say, get the fuck on my nuts. They need a villain, fuck it, I'm the villain. I'm waiting at dusk, a bag in the trunk. Cover my face like I'm hush, you know they not fucking with us. Show up for the moment, always rolling with the punches. Find a way to see through the ceiling, put above us. Smoke is in the air, keep it heavy in abundance. When the dust settles, let's see who remains. Show up for the moment, always rolling with the punches. Find a way to see through the ceiling, put above us. Smoke is in the air, keep it heavy in abundance. When the dust settles, will you be the same?
Who came up with that intro, by the way?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to AGL. The AGL Season 8 recap show for Week 6. I, as always, am your host, TJChalkboard, coming to you live from the basement of the Legion of Doom headquarters right here in Newmarket, Ontario, Canada. And we are live in the Chalkzone. It's been another wild week. Another wild week, and I'm not gonna lie. I may not have the same energy that I normally do. I was dealing with a little bit of food poisoning last night, but I seem to be doing a little bit better now. But here we are. Week 6 is in the books. The trade deadline has passed, and we are moving on. Along with me tonight as we go through the trades, the good, the bad, the ugly, every little bit of what's going on here. I got two folks with me this week. As usual, I got Logie with me, and Nucks is here as well. Nucks, welcome, man. I've been looking forward to this.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. I'm happy to be here this week. Hopefully I can continue to help you guys moving forward. Just want to give a shout out to both of you for how successful you've made the recap show, bringing it back again, and I hope it continues and does even better going forward.
Yeah, I know you were traded last week, obviously, with the new team. How was the week for you?
Oh, it was a good week. I've played with Persinger before. I was actually on a team with 4 seasons ago. My last season actually as a player, and I'm happy to be there. We ended up going 4-0, so I was happy to play with T's for the first time and be back with Purse. So successful week, I think.
That's awesome. And Logie, a single spot drop in the standings for you guys this week, but overall things looking pretty good for the Goonie Tunes. How are you doing, man?
Good, man. Good to be here. Thanks for having me. Yeah, we had a pretty good week. We went 6-2 this week, so definitely these top 3 teams are pushing for a big battle here. So I'm excited to see what the playoff standings go here.
Yeah, absolutely right. It's going to be a push right to the very end. One of the other teams I'm sure we're going to be talking about at some point, seeing the Apaches. What were they? I think 6-1-1 this week, or I believe, right?
Again, they were. They went 6-1-1 this week.
Yeah, and again, so they're making the moves too. So anything can happen. We've seen the shifts every single week. It'll be interesting to see how everything goes as we open up. We're going to take a look at the trades for the final week. As I mentioned before, the trade deadline has officially passed, so trading is closed. This is the last one of these that we're going to be doing, boys and girls. Had 20 last week, only 10 to go over this week. I believe the first 2, I think we may have kind of hit on last week because I think they came in right as we went live. The first one, the Legends are going to be receiving Not Jive Turkey from the Skateful Dead, and Remax QC going the other way there. The Apaches getting Watts, and Goonie Tunes receiving Now You're Dead. What are your thoughts on that one, Logie? Obviously, you guys made that move.
So we made that move purely on the defensive front here. trying to bring in someone who can flex as a right wing and right D, and also a familiar face to us with Now You're Dead. You hate giving up a guy like Watts, though. Watts is an unbelievable guy, in like not only a player but also in the dressing room as well, and a great guy to have in the Discord. So that you got to give it up to both these boys. But yeah, we just did this purely for the flex. It says right wing center, but Dead is actually a right wing right D.
Yeah.
So that's why we get the flex between the forward and the defense there.
Yeah, no, definitely not bad there at all. The Panthers receiving T Wild and Grizz, Violent Gentleman in return, getting Saltine, McCalsey, and Can't Stop the Quaff. This one was a little interesting to me, obviously, because we'd seen a little bit from T Wild as the weeks had gone on, and obviously Violent Gentleman not having this season that they wanted to be having. Seeing him move there, I think, can definitely create an advantage for the Panthers. What do you think, Nucks?
Yeah, so I was drafted by the Panthers. I was very thankful to be drafted by them. But the flexibility for them to be able to have T Wild going for a playoff push once the playoffs start gives them the flexibility for any kind of line they want to put out. Grizz is a good defenseman as well, so I could see why that trade was made. They did give up 3 players, and they did give up a goalie. And now they actually only have 1 starting goalie. But X-Carbine hasn't played much goalie this season, so we'll have to see how he steps in as the possible backup goalie or the second goalie on the team going forward.
Yes, definitely a lot of talk about goalies around the league, but we will get onto that a little bit later. The next one, the Thunder receiving ex-Canada V2 and Raxmus for Complete Luck and Trex. Again, this one, to me, looks like a pretty good trade. I think both teams getting exactly what they need. Duster's trying to find a way to win, but the Thunder obviously wanted to move up after having, again, kind of a mediocre week this week. So hopefully this is able to help move them in the right direction. Army of 6 involved in another one here, receiving Luai, which again, love that guy, so good to see him going to a great team, and the Reapers getting Keith 4 in return on that one. Straw Hats getting Skin Nasty and Konechny, Legends in return receiving Corey L95L and Best Flicks. So again, this is another one where you kind of had a feeling, right? Like, obviously Corey's going to want to be on a competitive team. The Straw Hats just have not been able to get it together. You've seen the moving pieces over the last couple of weeks. Corey moving, though, that's a big one. This guy can hit. He you know what I mean? He's putting up points. Turnover differential is really, really good for this guy, right? Like, I think this is a good one, definitely for the Legends. Anyone?
Yes. I'll let Nuxie take this one. He knows these boys.
Yeah, so it's still posted, but I don't know if you guys noticed earlier today that Skin actually left them.
Oh.
So
it was
not
reversed.
Sure. Yeah, but it's still posted. He ended up leaving just after this trade was posted, so I don't know the context of what's going to be happening going forward. Maybe because of the style, because of the trade not fully going through because one player ended up leaving. Yes, the trade line is officially done. I think if they want to try to figure this out, Ranger will probably give them time to be able to possibly come up with something or just completely reverse the trade. But on paper, I think it's a good trade for both teams.
Yeah.
Yes, the Straw Hats haven't consistently been competitive. I do know that Corey deserves to be on a playoff team for how he has performed all season. Same thing with Flicks. We know how, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Flicks, but both players are very good players together, and I do feel bad for Konechny having this to go to the bottom team at this point. But we'll see what happens and what happens with the trade because the player ended up leaving.
Yeah, and
there's always a flip side to it all too, right? Like you said, it's always unfortunate for the guys that have to go down because going from a team like the Legends, and there's a huge controversy over selling your team off right before the playoffs, and some people like to do it and some people don't. But you're right, guys deserve to make the playoffs. It just sucks on the other end for those guys who deserve their spot and earned it, and of course they're the trade chip that has to go.
Yeah, it is unfortunate, but I think Corey would definitely look pretty good in that uniform. I guess we'll have to pay attention. Maybe we'll have more information next week as to what happened here. Moving on, for the Silverbacks, getting McSwassey from the Outlaws in return. OG Dirty Birds going there. Then the Jurassic Puck. And again, this is another one that I was kind of interested in here, right? So Jurassic Park getting Kuma Lapuma, and the Straw Hats getting Lonely Fans and Bideau. Now, obviously Jurassic, they're in a pretty good spot. They've had some up and down weeks, I would say, but they've been pretty steady for the most part, right? Getting some goaltending, especially from Kuma here, but letting Lonely Fans go the other way, that's didn't expect that. Nucks?
Yeah, so this trade was very surprising for me. Seeing a goalie swap, because I know Lonely played left wing a little bit and goalie when he was in the QL, and then he did get picked up by the Dusters. And then just seeing that trade swap, and then Bidu being added, I know Kuma's a really good goalie, but adding Bidu to that trade to get rid of Lonely Fans, to me, the trade seemed a little bit unbalanced. But then again, why are you sending a really good left wing to a bottom team just to be able to get an extremely good goalie back? So the comprehension of the trade doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But I'm not an owner in this circumstance to make any comments on that.
Yeah, that's fair. Like I said, this one was definitely a bit of a surprise when I saw this one come through. Then now here's where it gets a little more interesting. So Lonely Fans then Lonely Fans and Konechny go to the Legends in return for Broadway and Cree Dude. So nothing. The Straw Hats got Lonely Fans just to move him again, right? So obviously still saying in playoff contention, obviously Konechny there too, so that's good. But again, a lot of this, especially with the Konechny one, right, doesn't that kind of revolve around the one that could potentially be called back, right? There's so much at play here now. This is just wild.
Yeah, this has been a really wild, and my entire time being involved over the last 6 seasons, it's been my 7th. This is the most wild trade deadline day I've ever seen. You have one trade that culminates to another trade that players are involved in, culminates to another trade, and Konechny was involved in that first trade.
Yeah.
So I don't know how this, the Jurassic Puck and the Straw Hats one, that's fine. But then Lonely Fans is involved in the next trade after, involving the player that was involved in the first trade, where the player ended up quitting. So I don't know how any of these the Legends trades are gonna go, or what's gonna happen. But the admins will figure it out. They do have time, and I think they'll get it straightened out.
Hopefully. Finally, the Kings getting Turtle and Bidu. Turtle sucks. I don't know if he's in the chat, but we'll find out eventually.
I approve that message.
And then the Straw Hats getting Shank and Lightalo in return again. So another really strong D. Going to the Straw Hats. Straw Hats obviously not afraid of making moves here at the end. And again, Bidu involved in yet another one. I don't know. Mostly C trades here this week, guys.
Yeah. It was expected to happen. With the gap in how many points, the people that are really in contention, because there's only 2 weeks left, essentially. You have the Dusters, the Mavericks, and the Pandas. Between that, Pandas are 7 points back.
Yeah.
Mavericks are 3 points back. Dusters 2 points back, and then you have the Straw Hats, Gentlemen, and Reapers. They're 39s, 37, 37.
Yeah.
So I could see why these trades happened so late. Like the Straw Hats expected to have a really good week last week or the week before, and now they're just seeing, okay, I'm just going to sell off, get people that want to be even just stay in the league just to play and be competitive in some form, because they could actually take teams away from even making playoffs. So I can see why it took so long. I think it could also just be guys want to stay competitive. They're going to keep the players that you drafted, and it was bound to happen eventually.
Yeah, agreed. And it will be interesting as this goes on, and we kind of see how things look, because like obviously the Straw Hats could potentially play spoiler to a couple of teams. Logie, I want to throw it over to you because, again, as I just pointed out, a number of the trades that we saw, so the trade deadline is now come and gone, right? We're done. Not a lot of movement in the queue, even though they had the extra week. And any insight on why you think a lot of guys were afraid to make those moves there?
Yeah, I think honestly, you got to look at the play-in factor, right? So teams from 12 to 8 have the play-in to be able to play in these playoffs, right? So there is a couple teams that are all close there. So, at the number 12 spot, you got the Ice Cartel there with 45 points. And then between them all the way down to where the Chiefs even are, like that, they're at 40 points. So it's only 5 points difference between them making playoffs and not making playoffs. So everyone's still competitive. That area to make that play-in is really not that far apart. So all it could take is one good week, and some of these guys like the Chiefs or the Black Mambas could sneak into the number 12 or number 11 spot and make the play-in.
Very, very true. Yeah, because like I said, I guess for me personally, I was expecting to see a little bit more, especially with the extra week, right? Some of the teams that were, trying to figure out those last few moves, if they'd be able to make something happen. Obviously didn't, but yeah. That's it, boys and girls. The trade deadline is closed. Wherever you are is where you're going to be staying. As we move on to the recap, and I apologize, I never actually moved. I never put Nucks logo in on this page, and now I feel like a butthead. I did it on the first one. Here, you know what? I'm gonna do it right now, guys. I'm gonna do it live. Fuck it, we're gonna do it live.
You could just put a big middle finger.
I could easily do that. That's
or the inflatable flailing tube man or something.
Oh yeah, I could easily do that as well. Here we go. So we're gonna move that right there, just like that, and then we're gonna move it in behind. There we go. Perfect.
I'll give some credit. Toppy did that through AI for me a while ago.
Dude, that's awesome.
That's double, bro.
I like it. I really like it. That's kind of cool. I like those packages. Like you see some of those memes. Now that the packaged the Karen or the blue-haired liberal, but I won't get into any of that right now. But yes, it is time for the week 6 recap. Obviously, a ton has happened this week as we look into our standings right off the bat. So for the Q League right now, sitting at the very top, it's still the Legion of Doom with Prestige Worldwide in second, Goonie Tunes in third, Silverbacks, Almost Somebody's, Raging Bulls, Muppet Slayers, the Glitter Trotters, and Guerrilla Warfare rounding out the top half.
Yeah, so just looking here, obviously these top 3 teams between the Legion of Doom, Prestige, Goonie, they're, what is it, a 1 point difference between all of them, or 2 point difference between all of them, right? Yeah. There's not a whole heck of a lot of room there. Trying to battle up for the top here. And all 3 teams had a 6-2 record this week.
Yeah.
So it's not even like one, where everyone's keeping up with each other up at the top here. Looking down here so Prestige and Goonie, we pretty much swap places. Silverbacks, they stay the same as last week here in 4th place with a -3 goal differential. The Almost Somebodies, they move from 7th to 5th with a -8 goal differential. The Bulls, they drop a spot from last week from 5th to 6th with a -6 goal differential. Muppets, which we'll get to later on in the stream here with some of the players of the weeks. They actually climbed a spot from the 8th to the 7th here with a -2 goal differential. Glitter Trotters, they worked their way from 11th last week all the way to the 8th. Yeah. They had a 5-1-2 week, so and a +9 goal differential. So out of these top 9 teams here, I'd say the Glitter Trotters are definitely one of the more impressive ones.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, 7-1-2 in their last 10. Glitter Trotters are working their way up. And as we look at the other side, in the 10th spot, it's Cluster Pucks, followed by the team that I had mentioned earlier, the Apaches, who once again, had an absolutely great week here, going 6-1-1 this week. The Ice Cartel, Skateful Dead, Black Mambas. They still haven't changed the name there. It's the Mabasm. The Black Mabasms.
Black Mabasms.
Yeah. The Wild Chiefs, the Outlaws, Nightfall, and Moose. Even and don't let it fool you, right? Like, so despite where Nightfall still is, we actually had a pretty good week, going 5-2-1 this week. But we're so far behind, it's going to be hard to make that climb out.
Yeah, you're kind of at the Nightfall are almost at that cutoff where it's going to be a little hard to get up there, but hey, anything can happen, right? That's what I mean. Anyone can get hot, anyone can get cold here.
Yeah.
Looking here, let's start it with the Cluster Pucks. All right. Obviously they had a little bit of an off week, going from 6th place last week all the way to 10th this week, a -9 goal differential. They had a 2-5-1 week. So that's a little bit of a rough week for the Cluster Pucks there. Hopefully, like I said, there's another team that, they just, unfortunately, they had a bad week and they started dropping and they got turned around to try and keep up here. Again, mentioning the Apaches here, 14th to 11th, with a +16 goal differential. Those guys were definitely putting the puck in, 6-1-1. Really, really great week here for those guys. Ice Cartel, no different than last week. They kind of kept the same space with a +6 goal differential. So they're the team right now that these other teams below them got to try and beat out here. They're hoping Cartel kind of lose a couple games. Skateful Dead, they went from 10th down to 13th with a -15 goal differential this week. So a little bit of a rough week for those boys.
Yeah.
Mamba's 13th to 14th with a -7 goal differential. Chiefs, they pretty much swapped places with the Outlaws here, so they dropped they went up from the 16th to the 15th spot, and the Outlaws dropped a place from a 15th to a 16th. And the Outlaws actually had a -20 goal differential, tied with the Moose this week for that, right? Like, the Moose definitely, they had the worst record of the week, I would say, with a 1-5-2 and that -20 and a 5 straight game loss. So they were, they definitely did not have a great week.
No, and with the 5-2-1 record, what I can say with Nightfall is that we ended up even on the differential this week, so definitely feel pretty good about that as we move on to the C League standings. So right now it is Army of 6.
Before we can do that, I wanted to make one comment, if that's okay, sir, interrupting. Go back to the QL stuff for a second.
Yeah, no, of course.
I just wanted to show how well the Ice Cartel have done since the transition of management.
Oh, 100%.
I don't know if that's been talked about, but they have had such a transitional season since ownership ended up leaving, and then they ended up making that one trade. So they are a team that I would be very, very scared of over the next 2 weeks, because you said there's a play-in, and what's the play-in for the QL there, Logie?
So that's they go from 8th to 12th, right? So they're battling for those. Sorry, no, is it 7? They battle for the 7th and 8th spot. So I guess you're 7, 8, 9, 10. Sorry, that's what the cutoff is: 7, 8, 9, 10. So those boys are going to battle for the 7th and 8th spot to be able to play in the playoffs.
Well, I'd say going over the next 2 weeks, Ice Cartel,
You let down an entire
from the way
town.
they turn their
Teammates and
season
yourself.
around, I feel like
What
it's
advice
the
do you
one
have for the
team
balding
to keep an
40-year-old
eye
losers
out
going through
for
tough times?
Hang in there,
Absolutely.
man.
I just wanted to throw that out for you boys.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and like we have been bringing it up, right, since they changed from the Coyotes to the Ice Cartel. This is a team that has really turned it around, that has really looked good. They've been doing, some solid work all the way around, and it is good to see that they're moving up. I just want to give a quick thank you to Eagly for the follow. Appreciate you, buddy. Turtle in the house.
Get off Slotty's dick. Oh, yeah. My lord.
Oh boy. It never Never ends up in here. Who do we got there? Who was that? Don Magic Cron with a follow. Thank you very, very much, buddy. Appreciate it. And that hits our follower goal of 270. Let's keep it fucking going, boys. Right now, as we're looking at the CL standings, as I said, Army of Six right now up out front, followed by the Hawks, the Panthers, Thunder, and Kings. Jurassic Puck, Legends, Kraken, and Dusters are making up that top group. So as I've said, right, like not really much change within those top five. Obviously, the Panthers and the Thunder swapping spots once again. What's really standing out to you here, Nucks?
Well, I know that with the trades that have been made over the last couple of weeks has really involved a fair amount of teams. I'm going to refer back to the trade where Complete Luck got traded to Thunder.
Yep.
He had an astronomical week this past week. He had 13 goals. He only won assist, but he had 13. And then he gets traded. So there's some different ways teams are trying to figure out the lines they want to put out. But from what I'm seeing is it's the same as last season. A lot of teams are battling for that playoff spot. And this is a big essential reason why the CL has been so competitive for the last 2 seasons. And it's been amazing to watch. Every game that you watch, there's rarely any games that you see that are blowouts.
Yeah.
I do see the Mavericks, Dusters, Kraken, Legends, and Jurassic Puck battling. There's only 9 points. I forgot the Pandas, but there's only a 9-point gap between those amount of teams.
Yeah.
So the standings, throw that out the window a little bit because it's only 2 weeks left to determine whether you're going to be making playoffs or not. The trades that the teams have made, they know what they're doing, the knowledge that they have, the players that they know of, and the chemistry. That is another big reason why some of these trades were made.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And as you hit on the head, the Mavericks, Trash Pandas, Straw Hats, Violent Gentlemen, and the Reapers making out the bottom there. And yeah, you know, at 39 to 37 points for the Straw Hats, the Violent Gentlemen, and the Reapers, that might be a little too far gone. Trash Pandas at 44, you know, yes, obviously there's still a chance, but you need a lot of things to go right in front of you. But yeah, the Mavericks, the Dusters, the Kraken, they're, you know, like these guys are going to be fighting right to the very end here with 2 weeks remaining.
Yes, and I think a big reason why, if you look at the way the last 2 weeks have gone, the Pandas went 2-6 2 weeks ago. Then they went 4-4, a little bit of an improvement. The Reapers 5-2-1, went 2-6, so their kind of season's a little lost. And then I think the biggest reason why the Straw Hats decided to sell is they went 3-5 and then 2-6 back-to-back weeks.
Yeah.
And then you have all those top teams. They've been consistent. They're either getting the 4 or 5 wins per week, and if you get the minimum 4, which is an even week, then those are still points. But if you have anything less than that, it's a thrown out week. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be very competitive the next 2 weeks. I familiarized with last season. It's going to be 2 of the hardest weeks for every single team to play, because teams are going to start playing their best players 5 games a week just to be able to position themselves for a good matchup in the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. What was that? Awesome. Don Magicron giving out 5 gifted subs. Thank you very much, buddy. Really, really appreciate you, man. If you got one of those gifted subs, make sure that you give a thank you to Don Magicron. Yeah, really quickly, like the last thing I'll say on it is this. You know, with the Dusters, we saw them kind of struggling right off the very, very top. But here they are now, 7-3-0 in their last 10. Now only 2 points behind the Kraken, looking absolutely fantastic. You know, they're a team that I'm definitely going to be watching as we go over the next couple of weeks here. We're going to move on to our players of the week for the Q League. For your forwards at center, it's Big Belsy, 20 points this week, 48.1% face-off, and plus 18. Ganabis, is your left wing as well from the Muppet Slayers with 8 goals, 11 assists, and 4.75 points per game. Wake Out, your right winger, 14 goals, 8 assists, 5.5 points per game. I'm just going to run through the whole list here, Logie. Then McShawn at left D had 6 points, plus 13 turnover differential, and an 83% passing. Absolutely fantastic there. Technique is your right D with 3 points, plus 22 turnover differential, 74% passing. And Dadbod is your goalie for this week with a 2.25 goals against average, 883 save percentage. Went 3-2 this week with 1 shutout.
Yeah, let's start with Dadbod here. Obviously, when he gets his game going, it shows that he's one heck of a goalie here, eh? So 5 games played this week, 10 goals against and 85 shots. So obviously the defense is doing their job too there, and 85 shots in 5 games, yeah, it's not bad, but he only let 10 of those in. A .882 save percentage and 3 wins and 2 losses on the week. So good on Dadbod there. Let's move on to technique here. 4 games played this week with a plus 12. He's got a 74.6 passing percentage, 14 interceptions and 11 takeaways.
Damn.
So, as a defenseman, and I'm sure you can appreciate this too, those are some good numbers to have in 4 games there. That's helping your team get those wins. So he had 3 wins and 1 loss on the week here. So no surprise, he's one of our top guys.
Yeah.
Moving on to McShawn here. 5 games played this week, a plus 12 with 22 hits in 5 games and an 83% passing percentage. You love seeing that number.
Yep.
3 wins, 2 overtime losses for McShawn there. Moving on to our right wing, whacked out here. 4 games played, 22 points, a 3.50 goals per game with a plus 9. 36 hits in those 4 games there, and with a 4-0 record. So that's, you can see why they Apaches, he's a big reason why they did decent this week here for sure. And as I mentioned earlier here, both the next 2 here, Muppet Slayer boys, Gannabis, who I had the pleasure of having on my team last year, play for me. One heck of a left wing. When his game is on here, he has 4 games, 19 points, a 4.75 points per game here, 26 hits in those 4 games, a 76 passing percentage. As a left winger, getting that many points and having that pass percentage, that's a good week. That's a good week as a winger here. 3 wins and 1 loss. Assuming then following up here, another big player for the Muppet Slayers here, Big Belsey, another guy that I had the pleasure of playing with in another league. Me, him, and Gannabis were all together. Great center. He's also one heck of a goalie too, but I understand he wanted to get away from playing goalie a little bit and focus on playing center here. So 4 games played, 20 points in those 4 games. So that's a 5.00 points per game played. Big reason, obviously, why Muppets, kind of climbed a spot this week. Plus 10, he's got a 72.7 pass percentage, and he's got the 3 wins and 1 loss, and 31 shots in those 4 games. So Belsey and Gannabis definitely contributing to the success of the Muppet Slayers and why they were a big reason why they climbed that spot and, show force up here in this league.
You went full retard, man.
Yeah, again, right?
Never go full retard.
With the Muppet Slayers, they are looking really, really good right now. Again, a team, definitely a team to watch. And Mick G. Sean, 83% passing. Again, those first passes are hugely important. As we look at our, come on now, there we go, our C-League Players of the Week. So it's Sliam Shady for the Dusters at center with 18 points, 43.9% face-off, and a plus 8. Poolsy is your left winger with 12 goals, 6 assists, and a 3.6 points per game. Rejects is your right winger with 9 goals, 11 assists, and 4 points per game. Keefe taking it on left D with 10 points, a plus 10 turnover differential, 81.7% passing. Again, right, those first passes are massively important. Miss Hudson is your right D with 8 points, plus 8 turnover differential, and 81.8 passing percentage. And big for life is the goalie, and obviously we can talk about other guys who definitely could and should have, could have been in contention, I should say. Big for life going 2.08 goals against with an .859 save percentage. Went 4-0 this week. Nucks.
Yeah, so when I was told that I was going to be allowed to be a part of this, I did my own separate list, and I was able to nail the head on 4 of them. And that just shows how competitive and good these players are, and just the ability for the people that do the players of the week to actually look at the stats, not even just points, but look at the percentages. Like faceoffs, 43%, not amazing, but he ended up being a +8 and 18 points. And Slim Shady, Polsey, it's expected of Polsey. He's going to put points up. He's a top player. Rejects, really solid goal scorer, really good IQ, so the ability to pass the puck. That's why he has the 11 assists. Now Keefe, he gets player of the week this week, and then he's traded. So it's kind of a little bit of a shocker, probably a shock to his system as well. So I hope he shows that kind of talent when he to the team that he's going to. I know it's the Reapers, but I still see him being somebody that's going to be on this board probably over the next 2 weeks, because he is going to be an effective player. Miss Hudson, the stats are there. The turnover differential is +8, passing percentage is solid, and then Big for Life, buddy of mine. I was kind of surprised he actually went 4-0, because sometimes he just likes to be on his phone too much, so he doesn't pay attention. But congrats to all these players of the week. I do want to give some honorable mentions to a right D, A. Devon. He ended up going 3-1-1 this week, 84.1% passing, 6 assists. One thing that stands out the most, he had a +28 giveaway takeaway interception ratio.
Wow.
And then he added to his block shots. He had 12 block shots. And then moving to the goalies, there was 2 honorable mentions. Cablo, he ended up going 4-0, got his first shutout of the season. This past week. 2.00 GAA, 857 save percentage. And then Eagle got traded a couple weeks ago from the Straw Hats.
Yep.
I'm going to point this out. He had a 4.22 GAA with the Straw Hats, 777 save percentage, 4 wins, 13 losses. In 1 week, he went 3-1, 2 shutouts, 2.0 GAA, and 852 save percentage. So you can see a big reason why he is successful this week, because I think that team that he got traded to was a little bit better than the team that he used to play for.
Absolutely.
But congrats to everybody that got the players of the week this week.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was one of the names that I was going to bring up, because we on the Monday night games of the week obviously had the chance to watch Eagle in game number 1. That dude was looking absolutely fantastic. And this is what I said, right? It's when you're not being hung out to dry by your defense, when guys, are making the smarter plays, and that it is easier. And when you're a goalie of the caliber that Eagle is, man, it does make the job easier, not just for him, but for the whole team. And yeah, it was good to see Eagle getting 2 shutouts his first week with the new team. Absolutely fantastic for him. As we move on to my good, bad, and the ugly for week number 6 for the Q League. Full negative goes to an entire line from the Outlaws. Dirty Noof, Schizo, Gordy Elbows, Monkey Wrench, and Shui. All 4 games played, -14. Boys, come on now. Turnover specialist, and again, I hate to do this to the guy, but it's Pootsies from the Silverbacks, man. 4 games played, -57 turnover differential. Ouch. I get it. You're trying to make those slot passes, and that's pretty bad. Not as bad as the C-League guy, I'll tell you that, though. But definitely that is your turnover specialist there. Passing failure for this week, Owen Weezer from Prestige Worldwide. In 3 games played was a 39.2% passing on 51 attempts. Rough, to say the very least. Saints Hockey, who I do believe is in the chat here as well, from the Skateful Dead, is getting our Simpin of the week. 4 games played, had 12 penalty minutes. Our hit parade is going to Shady Rap God from Prestige Worldwide. In 5 games played, had 63 hits and 0 penalty minutes. That's pretty impressive, boys. Saints is booing me right now. I love you too. I love you too, Saintsy. I love you too. Our big blocker for the week is M Diesel 57 from the Muppet Slayers. In 4 games played, had 16 block shots this week. That's absolutely fantastic. Circle King will be Big Papa Pumpkin from the Wild Chiefs. In 4 games played, had a 64.2 on 106 attempts. So it's not like, low attempts for him there. No, like he was going and obviously keeping it pretty good over all 4 games. Public Skate. I'm going to say maybe rethink the name here. This game is easy from the Almost Somebodies. Went 4 games, 0 points, -9, not even a shot on goal. Guess the game's not that easy. Just gonna throw that out there. Stay Greedy is going to be Watts. Watts of Fun 94 from the Apaches. I think, he was mentioned in the Players of the Week. 4 games played, 13 goals, 0 assists, +8 this week. So obviously, he doesn't want to pass. He's just going to take it straight to the net, and I say do it, sir. It is all about you. And our Swiss cheese this week, again, I hate doing this, Ghost is such a good goalie. If you've ever played with him, if you've ever been on a team with him, Ghostlight is such a good goalie. The Outlaws are having a rough season, and unfortunately, Ghostlight QC is the Swiss cheese for this week. With 4 games played, had a 629 save percentage, 8.67 goals against, allowed 26 goals on 70 shots as the Outlaws went 0-4 on his night. That's pretty fucking rough.
Yeah, that's real rough. But honestly, like you said, Ghost is a great goalie.
Yeah.
Just look at where you put the full negative, right? His whole lines there, they were actually, a -20 goal differential on the whole week. So, you can't put all the blame on Ghost there. You got a whole line that's not, trying to stop the puck, and trying to actually win games here, right? So, it sucks for Ghost. And it's unfortunate, but not at all his fault here at all. Moving to Staying Greedy here with Watts. This probably would have been last week, so he would have been playing for us here. Had a heck of a night with those 13 goals there and a +8. Watts, he can shoot that puck, man, and we had a lot of good. As long as he's playing with a good center and another good winger that can move that puck to him, and Watts is dangerous out there. So I would keep an eye out for him now that he's moved to the Apaches. He's gonna be scoring a lot for those guys there.
Yeah. No.
Let's go to the Circle King with Papa. Can't believe, he is a great center. I know I did some tryout games with him, actually against him, playing line versus line, and he's one of those centers that he's actually sneaky good. He used to be a good D-man, and I think he used to play up, I believe, in the CL a lot of the time too. So, him trying out playing center here, that's impressive there. 4 games, 64.2 on 106 attempts. So keep it up there, Papa. We're moving on to the big blocker here with M Diesel. He started the year, I believe, playing goalie for the Muppet Slayers, and now they've got enough goalies, so he's actually playing defense. Diesel is a great guy to have in your Discord, man. That guy's hilarious, and he's a great teammate to have. So no surprise here, 16 block shots. Diesel is a good D-man, so that's another reason help the Muppet Slayers climb that point this week here.
Absolutely can't stop that guy from saving pucks.
No.
Did you say
not
nipple
at all.
Slayers, or did you just say nipple Slayers?
The Muppet.
Muppet Slayers.
I know. The first time
yeah.
he said it, though, I thought he almost slipped and said nipple
Maybe I'm
Slayers.
mumbling a little bit here. Yeah, and then
Love
Shady,
nips.
5 games played, 63 hits, and zero penalty minutes on it. Yeah, look out. Next time you got to play against Shea. I know I played against him once here, and yeah, he loves to jump up, and he knows when to jump up, right? He's a guy like Ogre that knows when he needs to hit.
Yes.
Passing failure here with Weezer. That's just unfortunate, right? 3 games played and only 39.2 on 51 pass attempts. So this week, obviously it's not affecting them hugely. They still had a 6-2 week, but you need Weezer to be a little bit better there. Again, turnover specialist here. We're seeing another winger, a high scoring, high points winger. Pootsie, who's on the Silverbacks and leading the Silverbacks right now. 4 games played, that minus 57. Yeah, but he also is an absolute force up there and knows how to drive the puck, and he's one of their big boys there. So I'm not surprised at that. These wingers that tend to get the points are making sometimes a lot of these high chance passes, and they don't always go through, but when they do, they're definitely getting it to someone that's can put in the back of the net here. So Pootsie's one of those guys. So yep, keep a lookout for that. So yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And first time chats from Brent94 Allen saying he sucks. So I don't know exactly who.
B. Allen. I believe that's B. Allen.
Oh, is that B. Allen?
That's
nice.
B. Allen. That's
nice.
B. Allen.
That's B. Allen.
And then Don Magicron, Shady is a bum, just fight him.
What I wanted to say is between the Outlaws having their goalie in the Swiss cheese department this week, I do feel bad for Ghost.
Yeah.
That entire line deserves to go in shell jail for the week.
Right.
And let the other line play their 5, and then they can play the 3, and maybe you'll have a different result next week.
Yeah, maybe it needs something. And make sure that if you haven't already hit that follow button and you're watching along, hit that follow button. We always appreciate those. And yeah, fucking love you all. As we move on to our C League, good, bad, and ugly for this week. There's B. Allen with the follow. Thank you very much, buddy. So the good, bad, and the ugly for the CL. We're going to see a name here a couple of times. You may have already noticed it, but our full negative for this week is it's BL Greep, I believe. Is that
Big
right?
Reap.
Big Reap?
Yeah, it's
oh.
Big Reap. Yeah, Big Reap.
Oh, I missed that. Okay, sorry. So Big Reap from the Omaha Mavericks. 5 games played was a minus 14 this week. Our turnover specialist. Now again, as previously mentioned, sometimes with some of these guys who, have the big turnover differential. A lot of it is because, they're going for those slot passes and whatever. But come on, man, 5 games, minus 96. Like, damn. That's a pretty big number, if you ask me. Our passing failure is Shorzy from the Panthers, 52.4% on 82 pass attempts. Obviously not as bad as some others, but still not looking great. The sin bin, it's going to 2 guys who are actually tied this week. So Matador's Dana from the Legends and John X1 from the Omaha Mavericks. 4 games played and 12 penalty minutes for those guys. Hit parade going to T Wild. In 5 games played, he had 71 hits and only 4 penalty minutes. Another guy who, again, knows how to step up. And it's weird not seeing another name in that spot this week. Somebody that was actually mentioned earlier on, Devin, the big blocker, taking the big blocker this week. In 5 games played, had 12 blocked shots. Circle King is double bra for the Kings as well. 4 games played was 66.3% on 80 attempts. Public Skate going to Rebels from the Straw Hats. 4 games played, had no points, no penalty minutes. I think he had like 1 shot and was a -9. Rebel, man. Come on. Like dudes out there, signing sticks for the kiddos and stuff. I get it, but you got to contribute something on the ice there, buddy. Stay greedy for this week is Complete Luck 72 from the Dusters. 4 games played, had 13 goals and 1 assist. And your Swiss cheese. Again, it's hard to do it to some of these guys, but Courtney from the Violent Gentleman in 4 games played had a .608 save percentage, 7.38 goals against, 31 goals against on 79 shots, going 0 for 4 this week.
Yeah, so I'm just going to point this out right here right now. I know why Matador's Dana had the penalty minutes he had. I actually had the pleasure to be involved in that game. It was Matador's Dana is good friends with Persinger and Estex. They've been on a couple teams the last few seasons. Other than this one, he took 6 penalties, penalty minutes. So he took 3 penalties against 2 of his buddies. I think it was just more of I'm playing against my friends. I'm going to be a little chaotic and just go for hits, or I'm just going to hold them against the boards so they can't be involved in the play. So I see why Matt had the amount of penalty minutes he did. He was trying to be a nuisance to his friends.
Yeah.
But yeah, so with a Swiss cheese, you can see a reason why Courtney ended up getting dropped this week.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it on that player. The gentleman roster, just from what I talked to them about, is they're all playing on West Ping. I know there's a fair amount of people in this league that play West Ping, but their ping is every player on that team is 100. They don't want to play. They're doing it just to be able to put a team on the ice and at least try to be competitive in some format. Luck, I can see that happening. He likes to hold the puck a lot. He likes to shoot the puck and be involved as much as he can. Puck goes in, he makes those passes, pass goes good. Rebel, 0 penalty minutes, but it depends on how many hits he has. He is a guy that likes to hit. Double Bra, 66%. I expect better out of you. You have good ping. You live in Quebec. Come on, buddy. Devin, he's going nuts. As I mentioned, there's reasons why his plus minus giveaway was so good this week and why he had the 12 blocks. So he's getting the weight of that puck. T-Wild, keep hitting it up, buddy. John and Matt, I expect better out of you next week. Shory, I can see why you guys are doing so well. Keep forcing those passes and just trying to get those passes across for those cross creases. T-Wild, again. Just like I mentioned about John and Matt, I expect better out of you. If not, if you can't hit 100 minus, you're definitely not going all the way. And Reap, minus 14. I know you transitioned from playing center with the Dusters, and now you're playing with your buddies over in the Mavericks. For you to be a minus 14 as a defenseman, that's just blasphemy to me. I expect better out of everybody on this list next week, and I hope this list changes. If not, they need to just get good at the game.
Yeah, just get good, boys. Get good. That's what this list should be called. Fuck the good, bad, and the ugly. We're going to call it Get Good. TJ's Get Good list. Silver Surfer with the first time chat saying, yikes, boys. Yeah, dude, there's some of these numbers are a little rough, to say the very least. As we move on to our forward season leaders. So in the QL right now, Rob Law still leading the way with 74 goals. Shady Rap got behind him with 58. Cornhole Karen with 58. Dangle Sniping at 52. And D-Mac Jr. at 51 assists. It's B. Allen, who's in the chat right now. 76 assists. Armor Core with 66. Feeney Call at 63. Cornhole Karen at 55. Big Bellzy at 51. Points per game. Cornhole Karen leading the way with a 4.71. Rob Law at 4.46. B. Allen at 4.38. Armor Core at 3.86. And D-Mac Jr. at 3.83. Total shots so far. Pootsy's leading the way at 225. Behind him is Ryan at 210. Brand Flakes at 197. CGO at 185 and Dingle Sniping at 176. And finally, the plus minus. Shady Rap God is a plus 81 now. Absolutely fantastic. Armor Core as a plus 74. B. Allen at plus 64. Cornhole Karen at plus 57. And D-Mac Jr. at a plus 57. Obviously, our leaderboard hasn't changed too much. You've seen a couple guys moving up and down. But what's really standing out to you here?
Yeah, pretty much everything's kind of keeping the same here. Looking at total shots here, but no surprise, we've had Pootsy here for the last little while, sitting at 225. But Ryan's catching up there with the 210, so it's not as big of a difference as it was last week. Goals, looking at Rob, we've talked about him before. He's been in our Stay Greedy for 3 weeks, I think, before it was this week where Watts got it. So, Rob, it's going to be that difference from going where Shady has 58 to where Rob has 74. That's a long way to go. And if Shady's going to be the freaking knuckle dragger out there trying to make all these hits and stuff like that, he's going to definitely be he's going to have a little bit of a ways to get up there, but he's one heck of a player too. No surprise with seeing Cornhole here. His name's crossboard, has been for the last how many weeks, and I believe he's led the PPG for the last couple weeks here as well. Yeah. So, and honestly, just obviously looking at that whole plus minus there, you got that whole top line with Shady Armor and B. Allen, and then Cornhole and D-Mac, two guys that are leading the way for Legion of Doom there, and hence why they're also on the first top spot here as well.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely, man. And again, there's such good, so many good teams and so many good players, and like when you keep on seeing these same guys that are just running it up, it just shows you like how good these individual teams are and the chemistry. But a lot of that comes with, again, playing with each other constantly and really, laying it down and figuring it out that way, obviously.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't think between these next couple weeks, really, I'm gonna say Rob's probably safe. If Rob keeps going the way he's going, he's gonna keep up on top of this goals. I think we're gonna have a hard time trying to catch him.
Stop it. Get some help.
No, 100%. Couldn't agree more. As we look at our forward leaders for the C League right now, Poolsy leading the way with 56 goals there. Run Like Hell now only one behind at 55. White Tees at 53. Persinger at 51. Filthy Hog at 50. Shorey Season leading the way with assists at 59 right now. Gustav with 55. Persinger at 49. Rolla Backwoods at 49. And Mahomey at 48. Points per game, White Tees leading the way at a 4.45, Persinger at 3.85, Shorey Season at 3.64, Poolsy at 3.64, and ZE2 at a 3.58. For total shots, it's White Tees leading the way at 163, Shorey behind him at 159, Filthy Hog at 159, Corey at 156, and Jay Whips at 150. And for the plus minus, again, Shorey plus 59, one ahead of Poolsy at a plus 58, Persinger at plus 54, White Tees at 45, and Grammy Hands at a plus 43. Nucks.
Yeah, I know the chat's gonna go crazy over me mentioning this right now because I'm on that team. White Tees is absolutely one of the most disgusting players at Chell I've ever played with in my life. Because I have played against him a few times, but just being able to play with him, I could see why he is over close to almost more than a half point per game than the next person below him, which is his teammate, which makes it even crazier. But just seeing players on this list that I have been a part of all three of those teams, like Poolsy with the Panthers, you got Gustav with the Kings, and now I'm with Sharks. All these players that are on this list, and the reason why they have the points, assists, plus minus, there is so many reasons why they not only deserve to be on this list, they have proven it since the beginning of the season, and why their teams are where they are in the standings. And it's going to be a battle for that goals record for this season, the assist, point per games, unless White Tees takes a vacation and then the rest of that list decides to put up a bunch of points, probably about 10 per game. He's got that locked down. The total shots, I love seeing people shoot, creates rebounds, creates chaos. And then the plus minus, seeing Grammy Hands on this list for the team that he's on, with the Mavericks and not in a playoff spot, that is amazing for him. That just shows that when you have him in the lineup, you have a chance to win every single possible game, no matter who you're playing against. So all these people that are playing and pushing the limits of the game, I'm happy to see them up here, and they deserve to be up here.
Oh, exactly. And yeah, you're right with Grammy Hands. Like, there are those certain players that give you a chance to win, and Grammy is definitely one of those. As we move on to the Q League defensive leaders right now. So points, it's Red Daddy in the lead with 38, Silver Surfer, who's in the chat right now, behind him at 36, Mr. Playoff at 36, Virus at 36, and K. Dieter at 33 interceptions. It's Piccolo at 84, Big Chief at 77, Law of Chaos at 61, Matthews at 61, Mr. Playoff at 55. Takeaways, Law of Chaos right now at 99, Virus at 97, Silver Surfer at 95, Red Daddy with 93, Defender M. Klein at 93. Then with block shots, it's Tommy Dubs at 59, Wax Poetic at 54, I Like to Hippie at 49, Nugsy at 47, Hydro Girl at 45. Pretty tight race on the bottom there. Hits, 1 4 Rose 2004 with 227 now. Ogre right behind with 212. Defender M. Klein at 209. Don Magic Cron in the chat at 187. And Nugsy at 170. And finally, for the plus minus on the defensive side, Silver Surfer right now leading the way with a plus 84. Don Magicron at a plus 56. Red Daddy at plus 54. Rockin' Faces at a plus 45. And Wax Poetic at plus 41.
Yeah, can't be surprised with the plus minus here. You got the top three teams, right? Wax is one heck of a lefty too. No surprise that Red Daddy and Rockin' Faces are up here. There's a certain sense that these guys obviously are good D-men too. It also helps having a good forward line to help them out too. So it goes hand in hand together here. We got a new hits leader here. 1 for Rose. He must have been running around like a pissed off teenager this week, just hitting anything. He takes over that first spot with Ogre chasing him at 212 there. So congrats to Rose there, getting the top of the hits for the D-men here. Block shots, we see, I think Wax has moved up a couple spots here, but Tommy Dubs has been up there for a little while too. I've definitely seen his name up here. Again, Chiefs players, right? The Chiefs have kind of been, they've done okay and started getting a little bit better here, but we usually see these three Chiefs players on the block shots because these guys are getting shelled every single game here. Takeaways, I believe Law of Chaos was the leader last week as well. I remember seeing his name up there, and same with Virus. So that's a good one I like to see there. He's obviously in position when he needs to be, and he's picking off a lot of these passes. So as a D-man, you love seeing that. You love seeing those takeaways for sure. Interceptions by Piccolo. Again, another D-man that must just be in the right spot when he needs to be, right? Going to make those hits, taking that puck away when he needs to. I know between him, Law of Chaos, and Big Chief, the top three there, those boys are definitely hard D-men to try and beat. They play a very sound defensive game. Again, Red Daddy here and Silver Surfer, Mr. Playoff. I'm not really surprised with the Red Daddy. He's a heck of a D-man, and then on top of that, he's got two forward lines that it doesn't matter which one they're playing, they're winning games here. Same with Silver Surfer, right? The Prestige has just unreal forwards, so he's obviously on the plus side for that as well too. Mr. Playoff with the with these guys coming through here. I'm not really surprised that to see him up here because they came a long way. They used to be one of the lower teams there, right? Like when we first got started, they were down there, and now they're definitely making their comeback here. So the Silverbacks are a team to watch. They're definitely dangerous to play against. So not surprised to see Mr. Playoff on here.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, right, that takeaway race is a whole lot closer than I thought it was initially, right? Like 99 to 93. So this can really end up going to anybody. But again, all these guys absolutely fantastic and doing a fantastic job. Yeah.
Before we switch over, I wanted to mention this because Logie brought it up about Rose running around like a teenager. Rose had 62 hits in 4 games this past week.
Damn.
But he went a minus 11. That's a big reason why Ogre didn't play this week. I just wanted to point that out. So that's a big gap on why the hits are the way they are.
Yeah.
And then to also point out Red Daddy ended up having 21 make plays this week.
Damn. As we look at our C-League defensive leaders. So right now with points, it's Chuck Morrissey right now leading the way. Trex Not Trex behind him at 36. BC Bud at 34. S. Dex at 33. Matadors Dana at 31. Interceptions, Rock Show with 74. Lou IP with 69. Viking Beast at 67. Marner at 63. And A. Devon at 62. Takeaways. D. Stray right now at 110. Just warming up at 106 behind him. Schneebs at 100. And S. Dex at 100. Rock Show at 97. For blocked shots. Now, I want to find out if this was updated before or after I found the issue. Okay, so block shots right now, it's A. Devin with 66, SDEX behind him at 50. I'm not sure if that's correct, because that may actually...
That's not correct.
I was going to say, because I believe that's off by 20.
Because I ended up looking at stats. Sorry to interrupt you. I apologize. I mentioned it in my own team chat, and I tagged, and I said, save some block shots for the rest of us, Dex. How the heck do you have 22 in 4 games?
Yeah, it was 26.
So
it was 26 in 4 games because it was logged as 22 in the one game. I believe it was a third game on Tuesday against the Kraken. That was logged as 22. So that may be a mistake there. I just wanted to point that out to make sure nobody's up in my DMs being like, y'all screwed up again. No, I know. Yeah, he only had 2 there. But Marner with 47, Rock Show with 41, and Turtle with 41 hits. It's Steve leading the way with 159. Yourself at 153 right now in second place. Rock Show with 138. Gilgamesh at 137. Captain Canada at 127. S. Dex leading the way in the plus minus at a plus 55. Chuck Morrissey at plus 43. Keefe at plus 42. BC Butt at plus 32. And Can't Stop to Quaff at a plus 30.
Yeah, so we'll go back to that block shots. I'm on the site. It is updated. It is 66, Devin, Marner, and then Turtle.
Mm-hmm.
And then it is Rock Show and Spawn. So Spawn actually takes that additional 5th spot, and everybody else moves up.
Okay, good.
Dex only actually has 30. So I'm glad that they were able to fix that. Unfortunately, it was after all these slides were made.
Yeah.
Seeing all this consistency all over the board, it's good to see that there's so much competitiveness and people wanting to put up points, or contribute in different ways. I'll point at D-Stray, for him being on the Violent Gentleman and him having the amount of takeaways he has. I am surprised that he has not been traded. From my knowledge and that I know,
you boys keep talking. I'll be right back. Give me a second.
He is good buddies with the team that he's on, and I kind of hoped I would see D-Stray being traded because of his expertise, I guess, in finding a way to use the X button to do takeaways in the way NHL 26 works. Rock Show consistency, Y, and then the hits. I'll even say, like, seeing 2 Reapers on there, it depends on how many penalty limits they have. I can see maybe that's why their standings the way they are. People are going for hits, missing hits, or making the hits, and the puck's just bouncing and going out of the play. But yeah, I could see a lot of these standings change and fluctuate over the next 2 weeks. You got anything on that there you got to take there for it, Logie?
Yeah, just again going over here, I'm not sure. You see Chuck Morrissey here, still top of the points, right? I would have thought for sure the Hawks kind of would have. I thought he was a heck of an asset for the Hawks, but I guess you got to move on from certain things. So not surprised to see him up there. He's been up here for the last couple weeks. Interceptions, Rock Show, and Lou IP here. We both know how good of D-men these guys are. I got to play. We actually got Rock Show in the season me and you owned there, Nucks, and he was one heck of a D-man, and a great guy to have in there too. So no surprise to see Rock Show up there. Plus minus, CNS Dex up there, Chuck Morrissey, and again we mentioned Keefe, one guy who just got shipped out there. In a plus minus as a D-man, and you're leading with a plus 42. That was a bit of a crazy trade, obviously for me, seeing that one too. Block shots again, we talked about A. Devin up there and S. Dex. So pretty and congrats on getting the hits there, Nucks.
I was just gonna point this out. If you look at the plus minus category, you have Chuck Morrissey, you have Keefe, and you see Can't Stop Cheoff. those 3 guys that were traded over the last 2 weeks, myself being included in the trade for Chuck Morrissey, I wasn't able to. I'll just mention it because I did bring it up. I was very shocked when I was traded. I didn't know about the guy. I could see why he was where he was with his points. But a lot of these people on this list have been traded over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So teams are not afraid to ship out people just because play styles aren't working out like they hoped for, and they want to find more stability, I guess, for the D partner that they have on their team.
Yeah.
So I can see why those trades were made this past week.
Yeah, like Chuck, Luai, Devin. Yeah, like a bunch of these guys have all been moved, and really.
Well, Devin's an owner. Devin's an owner of the Kings.
Sorry, was it Devin? Who was I thinking? I saw somebody anyway, but yeah.
So the people that were traded were
Keith.
Luai,
Yeah.
Keith, Can't Stop Chia, and Chuck Morrissey were the D-men that were traded in the last 2 weeks.
That's wild. Absolutely wild. As we move on to the goalies. Sorry about that, guys. Had a little emergency with one of the kiddos. So our Season 8 goaltending leaders for the QL right now wins. It's Memdom leading the way with 23. Biggs is behind him at 18. Omar with 17. Dark Side Reborn at 16. And Dilly at 15. Again, good seeing. Again, like I know it's already been talked about. Ice Cartel doing really, really well. Dark Side Reborn now up to 16 wins. Obviously has been a big portion of that. For the shutouts, it's OG Dirty Birds leading the way with 3. Cold Alert tied with him at 3. And Memdom at 3 as well. Biggs is at 2. And Parky at 2. Shots against, Carrie M has now faced 552. Boomer at 517. Ghostly QC at 513. Irish Oddity at 513. And Chief Pietro at 500. Then you have your save percentage leaders. Biggs is at an 864. Parky at 843. Memdom at 839. The Birdman at 835. And Pasquawi at 830, and goals against average. Biggs is at 2.39, Memdom at 2.58, Parky at 2.69, Omar at 2.96, and Glimmet at 3.01.
Yeah, just starting off with the goalies here. We've seen Biggs as up here, or Big Bib as we were called a little while ago.
Big Bibs.
We've seen we've had his name up here consistently now for a couple weeks. Just goes to show a big reason why Legion of Doom is first overall. You got one stud of a goaltender here with a goal against average 239. But really, between looking from number 1 to number 5, there's a little bit of a difference. But Medom, he's an unreal goaltender too. I had to face him the other week. One heck of a goalie, hard guy to try and put the puck past. Parky's the one that is really surprising here. Again, must be a big reason why the Silverbacks made such a push here with a 2.69 goals against average. And then, of course, my boy Omar and Glimmet here in 4 and 5. Those guys are a big reason why we're sitting where we are. Those guys have carried us through a couple tough games, and they're elite goalies in my point of view here. Shots against, again, obviously these Nightfall guys, they're getting crushed here. A lot of shots against these boys. Same with Ghost Elite. You feel bad for him here facing 513. And Chef, again, I've seen him up here for the last couple weeks too at 500. Shutouts, I believe this hasn't really changed a whole lot. Dirty Birds and Gold Alert and Medom have been the guys that have been leading the way up there. Parky's made his way, and Biggs is too. So, but OG Dirty Birds still holds the record up there. Well, I guess the 3 of them together. Wins with Medom up here for Prestige Worldwide, probably a big reason why they're kind of neck and neck with us up here too. Obviously, some stud goalies up here for the wins. Good on Darkside and Dilly up here too as well. Those guys, especially for the Bulls, Dilly's definitely carrying a lot of the pressure here and coming away with some clutch wins.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, give credit where credit is due, right? Defense is a huge part of that. When you're seeing goalies with numbers that are this good. But yeah, every now and then, you have a goalie that just saves a game for you when you're not you're not at your best. And these guys obviously showing that they can do it night in and night out. As we move over finally to our C League goaltending leaders. For wins right now, it's Bloody Number leading the way with 20. Call Me Skull at 18. Got Coda Chota. I almost screwed it up again. Dude, like how many weeks? How many weeks has it been? And I almost screwed it up again. Coda Chota.
It's been a couple.
Yeah. Coda Chota at 18. Cablo at 17. And Saltine at 15. For shutouts right now, it's Viper. With 4, Call Me Skull with 3, Coda Chota at 3, Sweet Dilly at 3, and Saltine with 2. Save percentage, Alonzi still at the top there with an 850 right now. Viper at 848, Coda Chota at 839, Dandy Man, at 823, and Call Me Skull at 823. And your goals against average leaders right now, Call Me Skull with a 2.31, Alonzi at 2.61, Coda Chota at 2.7, Bloody Number at 2.86, and Dandy Man at 2.87.
Yeah, these goalies, unreal. Every goalie on this list, no matter whether it's the shots against, goals against, every shutout, save percentage wins, every goaltender that is in the CL right now deserves to be there. I will point out, I do feel bad for Chap. Have 481 shots against. He was a rookie last season, and he was tied for the shutout lead at the end of the season. We don't see him on this list this season. And there's a big reason why the Reapers are where they are. It's definitely not him. It's the foundation around him. Bloody, Skull, Coda, those 3 are top tier list goalies in this league. So it's not surprised to see them up there with the wins. Viper with the shutouts, same thing. He proved it last season in his rookie season that he's an unbelievable goalie. For him to have the shutouts lead, you can see why he's up there. Alonzi, being a rookie goaltender in this league with the competitiveness of the CL, having 850 save percentage from 1 to 5, all those goalies having an 820 or higher.
Yeah,
that just shows the caliber of the goalie are and the team that is surrounded by. But at the same time, it all depends on who you are surrounded by. And then you see Skull, Alonzi, Coda, and then you see Dandy in the goals against average and the save percentage categories. I'm guessing Dandy Bloody's save percentage isn't as high up there, probably because the Thunder are playing really good defense, so he's accumulating as many shots, and maybe he's letting the odd squeakers. I don't see this list changing that much next week.
No.
I do hope it changes, because then that would just show every team just decided to have an even week, and then goalies just, or EA, people like to use that as a cop-out sometimes, just allow the puck to trickle in, or people just found a way to manipulate the perks that us as skaters are allowed to use and just put 5, 6, 7, 8 goals a game in that. So good on you guys. I hope you guys keep it up next week.
Yeah, no, and dude, I agree, but I disagree. Because, like, I agree in the one sense that, yes, sometimes guys will be like, oh, I got E8 on that one. And, it's just, no, man, you moved when you shouldn't have moved, or you didn't trust your D-man. But there are times where you cannot convince me that some of the games when you're going in aren't scripted by the EA software, dude. Because it's like some of the shit that you see in the bounces are just like, okay, wait a minute. Like, that puck should have went left, but it went to the right directly onto the stick of the guy open in the slot. Like, just fucking, I don't even know. I don't even
Could
know.
also be similar to where, how in the actual, like, any hockey league, professionally or any real life arena you're in,
Yeah.
every arena has their own puck bounces off boards.
Absolutely.
It's very similar to like when you play the NHL game. Sometimes the puck, you try to aim one place when you jump it, and it just decides to take a ricochet and then just slips right underneath the goalie, or just hits the post and then hits the goalie's back of the pad. Sometimes that's something out of the goalie's control. And for these guys to be able to track the puck off a puck bounce off the back of the boards or any part of the boards, I commend people willing to step up and put themselves in that position to even play goalie.
Yeah, dude, goalies are crazy. People who decide to play goalie in this game are absolutely fucking crazy, but we appreciate each and every one of you guys for doing it. Boys, this is a pretty good first run this week. I gotta say, I really enjoyed this, Nucks. It was great fucking having you along with us.
I appreciate it. I hope going forward I can stay a part of this. Logie, you gave me the opportunity to be management first time in the history of this league, so it's good to be back with you again in some form, and I hope the rest of your season goes well. And same with you, TJChalkboard. I hope the rest of your season goes well, and hope you guys kick ass this week.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, again, like thanks for coming in here. If there's one guy I know who knows analytics, and I there was a reason why I asked you to be a management partner with me, because I know you're good with the stats and you know who's who and you know who's good at playing what. So just kind of makes sense to have you here doing this with us.
Quoting analytics, I hope you don't compare me to the Toronto Maple Leafs version of Kyle Dubas to the Pittsburgh Penguins version. I'm a Leafs fan, but
damn,
him going to a different team actually better than that team. He just screwed the Leafs for the next 5 years.
Oh, dude, no, you know what, man? Okay, I don't think Kyle Dubas was the problem, okay? Like, I'm a Bruins fan, for those who don't know. I am a Bruins fan, but I do live in Ontario. Ooh. Yes, I know, whatever. I'm in Newmarket, so, like, obviously the Leafs are my home market team. I'm going to say it this way, dude. If Dubas was allowed to do what Dubas wanted to do, the Leafs would not be in the position that they are right now. It was Shanahan. Shanahan fucked Dubas over. The Shanahan fucked the entire team. Like, he should have been... I will agree. Yeah, he should have been let go before Dubas.
He should have never been the president of hockey operations for that.
No, he did some good things right from the start. Like, let's be straight and honest, right? He did some good things right from the very start when he initially took over as president of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and things were looking good. It was the summer before Dubas was released, when Dubas finally said in that press conference, look, I'm willing to do whatever it takes, and we're gonna make the moves that we need to make. And that's when Shanahan all of a sudden decides to let him go. No, they should have they should have did whatever they could to keep Dubas and let Shanahan go at that point, because no, that was just wild. Now, the question is, did Dubas already have that offer from the Penguins? Because it seemed like that all happened pretty fucking quick, if you ask me.
2 days.
Yeah. But
2 days.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. 2 days.
It was quick, but at the same time, just the way they managed the whole. I've been a Leafs fan my whole life, and I'm just so frustrated what's gone on there. And I get everyone wants to look for the analytics guy, but at the same time, they tried doing that before a little bit. Dubas was a little bit of that. Looks at the numbers a little bit and stuff like that, but they don't have very good. Like, Matthews is one hell of a player, but is he that really great of a captain? You know what I mean? Is he leading the team like he should? We haven't had a real captain since Matt Sundin. You know what I mean? Those were the days. Those were the days for me. Matt Sundin, and you get Darcy Tucker out there. Darcy Tucker is by far my favorite Leafs player of all time. That guy played with so much grit and heart. Yeah, he played with
He's
such
my favorite player
heart.
of all time too.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Before we go, I will say this. I agree with that. Matt Sundin is the greatest captain the Leafs have had in the last 20 years.
Oh, 100%.
I do agree with what you're saying on that front, but Moneyball proves that analytics do not win you a championship, and that's the only reason why I'm saying analytics is a reason why our team was a little bit screwed. That's quoting the 2001 Oakland Athletics.
Even though they're targeting Sonny guy now, right?
Sonny Mantha. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the Leafs over the next while. I'll tell you, one of my favorite guys during that era, playing with the Leafs, and he was fun to watch with Tucker, was Shane Corson. Shane Corson was a guy who I really liked.
Yeah.
But yeah, boys,
Of course, controversy.
Yes, sir. But this has been an absolute blast, and I appreciate both of you
Yes, sir.
for hanging out with me here. Really quickly before I go, I just want to let everybody know, because I forgot last week. If you ever miss one of these shows, I know it only the VODs only stay for so long. So if you go to YouTube and search the Chalkzone Media on YouTube, you can find everything in one giant playlist for the AGL, all the Monday Night Hockey, as well as the recaps. So you can go there, you can give those a watch, you can give me a sub over there if you want to, and I'd appreciate all those. And if you want to give one of those videos a like, I'd appreciate that as well. That is it for us here today. I want to thank you very much for watching. I, as always, have been your host, TJChalkboard, coming to you live from the basement of the Legion of Doom headquarters right here in Newmarket, Ontario, Canada. I will see you tomorrow night for Monday Night AGL Hockey. I love you all, and I'll see you next time. Oh, wrong button.
Are you even in this? The scars they form with distance. A prison. It's like I'm trapped inside my mind.